What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we are here on the Big Ten channel at the voice of college football. If you're a Big Ten football fan, please subscribe to the channel. In this video, we are going to preview the 2022 schedule for Minnesota. Before we get into 2022, let's look back at 2021. Here was the schedule from 2021. Minnesota had to play Ohio State out of the East. They didn't have to play Michigan. They didn't have to play Michigan State, so that worked out pretty well. They did have to play Maryland, did have to play Indiana, and then again, Ohio State was a tough one there. And the non-conference, not too bad. Miami of Ohio, Colorado, Bowling Green. So this was a pretty favorable schedule. Let's look ahead now to 2022. Here is that schedule. Before we go game by game, let's look at who they play outside of the division. Of course, they're going to play every Big Ten West team. They'll play New Mexico State, Western Illinois, and Colorado. Those will be the non-conference games. Not very tough, really. Winnable games for sure. And then look at who they play out of the East. They'll play on the road at Michigan State, on the road at Penn State, and then Rutgers. So not a terrible draw. They don't have Michigan. They don't have Michigan State, but two tough road games of Michigan State and Penn State. They do get to play Rutgers. So, you know, it's not as good of a draw as they got last year, but still, I don't think you can complain too much when you don't have to play Ohio State, don't have to play Michigan. Again, it's tough that they play two road games there, but that means you're going to get more home games in the division. So it kind of works out well, I guess, if you look at it like that. So they start off on Thursday night, September the 1st. They will play New Mexico State at home, and then it's Western Illinois on the 10th, Colorado on the 17th. So three non-conference games to start off the season. Three, again, very winnable games. Minnesota can get off to a great start, but then the schedule gets tougher. They will play Michigan State on September 24th. That'll be a road game. That'll be a tough game. Michigan State expected to be a top 15 team once again this season. Then after that, they'll play Purdue at home. Big game in the division. I know every year it seems like it's Iowa and Wisconsin. Those are the teams we talk about in the Big Ten West. Nebraska getting some love this year. But Minnesota and Purdue are kind of those sneaky teams that I think have a chance in the Big Ten West. And so that could be a huge game, maybe even an eliminator type game early in the season. First Saturday of October, Minnesota-Purdue. Circle that one. That is a huge game for both teams. Then they'll play Illinois after that. They'll get a bye week after Purdue before playing Illinois. Get a bye week before back-to-back road games. Illinois on the road, then Penn State on the road. Those will be challenges there. Then they get Rutgers at home. Go to the month of November. They'll go on the road to face Nebraska. That's another game that could be a huge one in the division. Northwestern on the 12th. Iowa on November 19th. And they'll close things out with Wisconsin on the road on November 26th. So if they are in the running, especially if they can beat Purdue, I mean, even if they lose to Michigan State and Penn State on the road, they're going to be in this discussion, in this race in the Big Ten West if they can beat Purdue. Again, that is a huge game. But then it comes down to that month of November. We did this with Nebraska, and it was the same situation with them. They had a bunch of big division games at the end of the season. Minnesota will play Nebraska, Iowa, and Wisconsin in the month of November. So if they can beat Purdue, if they can stay in the race, they're going to have a great opportunity once they get to November. And if they can win these three division games, and I'm saying, and Northwestern's in there as well, we'll see how good they are. But I think the other three games are the big games. And if they can win two of those three games, or for sure three of those three games, then they're going to be in a great spot and have a great chance to win the Big Ten West. But again, it starts off with that game against Purdue. You lose that game, you lose to Michigan State, you lose to Penn State. That's already three losses. It's going to be tough. But if they can beat Purdue, then they'll have a chance, once they get to the month of November, to make a run at a Big Ten West championship.